Good afternoon. Welcome to Drew University's 158th Commencement. The procession will begin shortly. Please find your seats and silence all phones and mobile devices. Please remain in your seats during the procession and the entirety of the ceremony, even while taking photographs. Thank you and enjoy.
Would you pray with me? We gather today in gratitude for effort, for perseverance, and for the many steps that have brought us this way. We celebrate these graduates and the work that has led them here. We also remember those who are not present with us, those whose paths changed, whose journeys were interrupted, whose hopes remain unfinished, and those who never had the chance to begin. May their absence deepen our sense of what this occasion means. As we mark this moment, we recognize the world our graduates now enter is a world of uncertainty and uncharted possibility, calling forth creativity, courage, and compassion, and still longing for justice, understanding, and a peace rooted in our shared humanity. May this day strengthen all who leave here. May it renew a sense of purpose, enlarge our care for one another, and inspire these graduates in the wisdom to serve, the courage to lead, and the humility to learn. For this gathering, for these graduates, and for the promise carried into the future, we give thanks. Let it be so. You may be seated.
Good afternoon. I am Hillary Link, Drew's 15th president, and it is my sincere honor and pleasure to welcome you all to these commencement exercises for the Drew University classes of 2026. Today, in a return to a long-standing tradition, we are celebrating all of our Drew graduates of 2026 together from the Drew Theological School, the College of Liberal Arts, and the Caspersen School of Graduate Studies. I want to take a moment to share my sense of gratitude with all of you. Gratitude for this beautiful place, for this inspiring community, for each and every one of you, for choosing to share your talents and your humanity with us here. And speaking of gratitude, you all have many people who are here sitting behind you to celebrate you. And I want you all to take a moment to stand and recognize those who have supported you throughout your journeys. As a parent myself, I can tell you, this is truly their day as well. I also want to thank all of my colleagues at Drew who have worked so hard to make this ceremony a reality, who have gone above and beyond to create such a meaningful celebration of your graduations. I want to recognize our faculty and staff as well, those mentors who have supported and challenged you on your journeys, and who, I guarantee you, will continue to stay in your lives long beyond your time here. Today is about celebrating each and every one of you for your hard work, your successes in the classroom, in the field, in research, in the pulpit, in internships or service, on the stage or on the athletic field. And it is about your successful completion of your Drew degree. But it really is about so much more than that. It's about what each of you has contributed to Drew during your time here, what you take from here, and what makes this such a special and vibrant community. We are, I think it is fair to say, in tumultuous, divisive, and uncertain times. We are in a moment when the very existence of institutions like Drew is being threatened, and where AI is rapidly transforming the world of knowledge production and acquisition. We need to continue to think and evolve and for a transformed world that we can't even begin to imagine. And that's why I'm so confident in Drew's approach to the future. We are both investing in our tradition while also thinking about what the future might look like. And an important part of that reimagining is taking a broader view of learning. As opposed to just a segmented period of time, it should perhaps be a lifelong 60-plus year learning trajectory that allows people to return to places like Drew throughout their lives. In this complex and rapidly changing world, focusing education on just an undergraduate or discrete graduate degree is no longer enough. Drew is positioned for agility and pivots to continue addressing the pressing needs of our world, but we've always been that. Since our founding in 1867, when the Drew Theological Seminary, under the first president, John McClintock, launched a new approach to teaching Methodist ministers beyond the walls of the church. So really, innovation is in our DNA. Speaking of a 60-year learning journey, many of you know and represent our theological school and Caspersen School of Graduate Studies already embrace long life learning and learning across generations. And our university is richer, more diverse, and thriving because of that. I want to take a quick moment, and I hope she won't kill me for this, to shout out one of our amazing College of Liberal Arts graduates who is on their own lifelong learning trajectory, which has not been typical for CLA. Mary Olson, where are you? Mary began her undergraduate Drew education in 1969. She left after 2 years for many years and a lifetime of experience, family, and work, but she always thought about finishing her Drew degree. Mary returned to Drew a couple years ago as a full-time student, and she has now completed her Drew undergraduate degree 53 years after she began it. To me, Mary's journey is an inspiration for re-envisioning what education can do and can become. And I know she's an inspiration to her fellow students, to her family, and to so many others on campus. Mary, we hope you're the beginning of a new trend of long life learners coming back to CLA as well. Drew's motto, which you've all passed by many, many times, but you may not have always read, sits on the gates at the front of campus, is freely ye have received, freely give. I've been thinking a lot about the circularity of that phase. Everyone here gives so much to the Drew community while they're here, and you also take away so much when you leave. Lifelong friends, mentors, cheerleaders, experiences, learning, personal growth. I've also been thinking about our motto in relation to the work of our honorary degree recipient, whom you'll hear from in a bit, Mark Friedman, whose work with CoGenerate highlights intergenerational collaboration and connection. As we look to make Drew part of a lifelong educational trajectory, this giving and taking among generations is fundamental. And as you'll hear, Mark's work on the benefits of multi-generational learning and living resonates strongly with our future vision. So even as you go forth from Drew, I wish for every one of our graduates to maintain a lifelong connection to all the special people who have dedicated so much to your growth and education and who will continue to root you on from afar. The faculty, the mentors, the coaches, the staff, the friends. And I hope that you always maintain a special connection to this place, the University in the Forest. I will reshare what I said to the graduating undergraduate seniors at my house last Friday for the senior toast. My sincere wish for you is that you always feel that Drew is your home, that you return, that you maintain your connections, that you reach back and do for those who will come after you what current students, graduates, and older alumni have done for you. and that now you take all the knowledge, experiences, competencies, and opportunities you have been given here, and you give of it as you follow the university's mission and contribute to the world's good. It is now my privilege to present our 2026 honorary degree recipient and commencement speaker. Mark Friedman is the founder and co-CEO of CoGenerate, a nonprofit organization that works to bridge generational divides by uniting younger and older people to solve social issues, including loneliness, polarization, and mental health. Drew was proud to host Mark a year ago at our Wisdom Meets Innovation, How AI Will Transform Education and Connect Generations convening last spring. Mark was the founding faculty director of the Yale Experience Leaders Initiative and has twice been a visiting scholar at Stanford University. The author of 5 books, Mark has received praise from the Wall Street Journal for his latest work, which is titled How to Live Forever: The Enduring Power of Connecting Generations. The Wall Street Journal named it one of the year's best books on aging well. Mark originated the concept, which I love, of encore careers, linking second acts to the greater good. To help promote the encore career idea, he co-created the Experience Corps, now the AARP Experience Corps, the Purpose Prize, and Encore Fellowships. As I said when I announced Mark as our commencement speaker back in March, he is not just a thought leader, but he's a doer. Through CoGenerate, his writing and his teaching, Mark helps put into practice the ideas of lifelong learning and adding to the world's good, 2 things that are integral to Drew University. Mark and CoGenerate will be important advisors and partners as we look to the future, and so I am particularly pleased to have him speak to you all today. Mark, it is my privilege to welcome you to the podium and to present you with this honorary Doctor of Humane Letters in recognition of your exemplary career and important, inspiring work. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, President Link. Congratulations. Congratulations on reaching this extraordinary milestone. And congratulations to your proud parents and grandparents, family and friends on this magnificent and momentous occasion. It's an honor to share it with you. Last time I gave a graduation speech, I was 22. That was 46 years ago. I felt very lucky to be crossing the stage that day. My college career was filled with some ups, but a lot of downs. By the time I finished my sophomore year, I'd racked up a staggering 9 incomplete courses, which I still think is a mid-Atlantic record. But I had one enormous asset on my side, a 75-year-old mentor named Gilmore Stott. I got to know Gil because he was the dean entrusted with granting permission for incompletes. I visited him so many times that we became close friends, almost family. He'd see me coming down the hallway to his office, a hangdog expression on my face, and he'd just smile and shake his head. Gil Stott rarely gave me advice. God knows I probably could have used some. And he never lectured me. He was more interested in listening than in lecturing. To him, it was more important to be interested than to be interesting, which is not to say that he wasn't interesting. He'd won a Rhodes Scholarship in the 1930s for taking a trans-Canadian bike trip. For several years, he was Einstein's driver as a graduate student. But his priority in being interested in other people, his interest in me as a person, his questions and his curiosity made me feel like I mattered, that I belonged, that short-term setbacks, like my formidable collection of incompletes, weren't necessarily the end of the world. 46 years ago, when I gave that commencement speech, I dedicated it to Gil Stott, and I've never forgotten what he taught me or how he made me feel. Truth be told, I started the speech by making a grammatical error in the pronoun. It just shows you that mentoring can only do so much. A lot of things have gotten worse since that day that I graduated, but one thing has gotten better: longevity. In short, you are likely to live a very long time, much longer than people in the not-so-distant past. When those first Drew students arrived in 1867, life expectancy in America hovered around 40. Those inaugural grads could have combined getting a college degree with a midlife crisis, if they had such a thing as a midlife crisis in the 19th century. By 1980, the year my sister became a sophomore at Drew, go Rangers, life expectancy had nearly doubled to 74. That increase happened in a little over 100 years, and it was greater than all the increases accumulated since the beginning of humanity. And since then, the numbers have jumped further still, but not for everybody. Today, a college graduate can expect to live to 84, more than a decade longer than those without a high school diploma. Still, demographers say that fully half the children born in the developed world since 2000 will see their 100th birthday. That growth in longevity is not just a quantitative shift, but it's a qualitative one. We haven't just stretched the length of life, but we're remaking the shape of lives. We're going from the old notion, first you learn, then you earn, then you retire, to what's being characterized as a new map of life with a multitude of chapters. When those first Drew students graduated, they were halfway through life. Most of you had just finished the first quarter of your life, or maybe even the first fifth. You're inheriting one of the best possible gifts, the great gift of time. So what will that mean? To start, some bad news. You're entering a world that is not designed for the longer lives you're likely to lead. As a result, navigating life's many chapters is often a do-it-yourself process, which can be bumpy, confusing, costly. But there's also some good news to report. We're learning a few things that can help ease your journey. First, it's all important to get the new time frame right. Specifically, your life will be a long-distance adventure, not a short sprint. You'll get multiple bites at the apple, along with the opportunity to learn from previous chapters. You can try again, even do some more experimenting, and still have plenty of time to land on your feet. A big part of this longer life course is that you can expect multiple transitions. Transitions are a feature of the new life course, not an aberration. The mythology expert Joseph Campbell said, midlife is when you get to the top of the ladder and discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. So much of this new life course is about getting to the right wall, and not just in midlife, but all along the way. And a big part of the answer, as President Link underscored, is continued learning. It no longer makes sense for us to shoehorn all of our education in the front end of life and hope that it'll serve us well in perpetuity. We need schools for the second half of life, and maybe even the third half, if that's such a thing. What about coming back to Drew in 20 years, or 20 years after that? Things change, we change, and that means you'll have the need and the opportunity to grow, switch jobs, change identities, especially in a world that's consistently and constantly reinventing itself. Third, and this is a surprise, you can live longer by thinking positively about living longer. It turns out that your attitude towards growing older matters a great deal, and all along the way. Research from Yale psychologist Becca Levy shows that people who have positive attitudes towards growing older live 7.5 years longer than those who have negative outlooks. Not 7.5 months, 7.5 years longer. Finally, I want to share with you what I think might be the most important ingredient in a good long life. 80 years of research shows that relationships and connections are the keys to happiness. According to the Harvard study of adult development, happiness is love, full stop. Or as the writer E.M. Forster advised, only connect. And here's the heart of my message, and don't just connect with peers, but also with people of different ages and generations and backgrounds. I learned that lesson from Gil Stott when I was getting started, and it enriched my life at every turn. Mentoring today is two-way. You have as much to teach, maybe more than to learn. And it's not just what older people can and should do for younger people, and vice versa. It's what we can do together that carries the most power and the most joy. I believe the route to regeneration runs through co-generation. And the timing for coming together across ages couldn't be better. You're not only graduating into one of the longest living societies in human history, but the most age diverse. When those first Drew grads came on campus, life expectancy in America was a downhill slope. There were lots of people alive early on, and then fewer and fewer as each year passed. Today, that slope has become a level line. We have the same number of people alive at every age from birth to 74, the same number of 22-year-olds and 42-year-olds and 62-year-olds, and I predict soon 82-year-olds. One of the most important tasks of our age-diverse era will be learning to thrive in a multi-generational world. As one of my newest mentors, a 24-year-old social entrepreneur and law student named Ariel Galinsky says, the next gen is co-gen. No graduation speech would be complete without invoking a famous writer or philosopher, so why buck that tradition? Not long ago, I heard the poet Wendell Berry on NPR, and his words have been on my mind ever since. According to Berry, we live in an age of division. He says things that belong together have been taken apart, and you can't put it all back together again. What you can do, he says, is the only thing that you can do. You take two things that ought to be together, and you put them together. Two things, not all things. Over the years, I've tried to connect the wisdom of the young and the curiosity of the old, two things I fervently believe go together. In these confusing, divided, tumultuous times, my call to you, graduates, parents, grandparents, friends, is simply this. Put two things together, two things, not all things. For me, it's been the young and the old. For you, it might be something quite different, something at the intersection of your unique skills and what the world requires. Which leads me to a closing question, the kind of question that Gil Stott, in his curiosity and in his wisdom, might have asked me all those many years ago. What is the need that needs you most? That's the question I want to leave you with today as you head into your next chapter in what I hope will be a long and vibrant life. What is the need that needs you most? Congratulations, it's been an honor to share this day with you, the class of 2026. Best wishes to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Sorry, we have to turn the page. Thank you, Mark. I am very pleased now to welcome the first of today's student speakers, Young Grok Choi. Rock has quite a cheering section. Young Grok is graduating today from Drew Theological School with a master's in divinity degree. In addition to his studies, during his time at Drew, Young Grok held leadership positions in the Korean Student Caucus and the Theological Student Association. He has been the recipient of a number of academic prizes, including the Alfred B. Haas Prize for Theology, and the George R. Warren Memorial Prize for Biblical Studies at the Drew Theological School Honors Convocation Service. So I want to welcome Young Grok Choi and congratulations.
Thank you, President Link. Good afternoon, graduates, families, and friends, and our members of Drew community. At the end of every semester, my beloved advisor, Dr. Melanie Johnson DeBuffray, would ask our class two simple questions. Now, this class is over. What will you take with you? And what will you leave behind? As I stand here today, thinking about what I will leave behind at Drew, I realize I am leaving behind a lot of regrets. Yes, I regret submitting my papers at 11:59 p.m. I regret nodding very thoughtfully in seminars when I absolutely had no idea what was going on. And I also regret saying, "Oh, that is a great question," when I completely did not have the answer. But there are deeper regrets I leave behind as well. I regret not offering more comfort to those who are struggling. I regret not loving more fiercely. I regret being so trapped in my own goals that I forgot to look around and breathe. Honestly, I regret not playing a little bit more. What regrets are each of you leaving behind today? I also spent a long time thinking about what I will take with me as I leave Drew. And the answer is you, our connection. Does that sound like a line from a K-drama? In Korea, we have a beautiful word for this, inyeon. It means destiny, a connection destined by the universe. There is an old Korean saying, if our colors merely brush as we walk past each other in the street, it is inyeon. If brushing colors is destiny, think about how massive our inyeon must be. From across the state and from all corners of the globe, we gather together right here in Madison, New Jersey at Drew. What a profound miracle it is. Of course, we did not arrive here alone. We are here because of the prayers, of the longing, and the sacrifices of our families. Speaking of which, my mother flew 14 hours from South Korea just to be here today. Can we please give her and all of our families a round of applause? 엄마 고마워요. 모두 엄마 덕분입니다. I want to say thank you to so many. Yes, I want to thank the friends who brush the colors with me every single day. To the professors who patiently leaned in and listened to me, even when I struggled to say a single word in English. To the staff members who quietly made this entire place work. To all of you, thank you. This moment belongs to you too. And I also want to express my deepest gratitude to this Drew community. Whenever the news brought heavy hearts and real fear to students from many backgrounds, especially immigrants and international students like me, you did not look away. You raised your voices with us, you checked in on us, and you made the space for us. Thank you for your radical hospitality and your solidarity. You know, for 3 years, I have attended this commencement, but I was always over there sitting in the choir seats. I cannot believe this day actually has come for me, and I never imagined I would be standing at this podium. Yes, this is a great, great honor. But I asked myself, why have I been chosen as the student speaker? I guess they wanted someone to make sure the stage did not get boring. They wanted someone to rock it. Since my name is Rock, I'm the rock star of the theological school. And you guys are too! Hey! Class of 2026, my beloved friends, the time for regrets is over. The time is now to take our connections, our inyan, into the world. And friends, it's time to try defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye, I'm defying gravity. They never bring us down. Do you want me to keep singing? Yeah. So if you can't find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. Sing. To those who draw me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, defying gravity, and soon I'll match them in renown. And nobody in all the earth, no system that denies our worth is ever gonna bring a star. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it. 고맙습니다. Thank you.
Thank you, Young Rock. Juanita, I'm not sure if you've prepared a song, but I am very pleased now to welcome the second of today's student speakers, Juanita Navas Espinal. Representing the College of Arts and Sciences. Juanita, a native of Colombia, is an international relations and Spanish double minor and women's gender studies minor in the College of Liberal Arts. She has also earned a certificate in conflict resolution and leadership and participated in 2 of Drew's New York semesters on the United Nations and on social impact. She served as an international ambassador and was a leader in Drew's Racial Justice Club and Ariel student organizations. Welcome, Juanita, and congratulations.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, Drew family, and especially to the graduating class of 2026. There is something beautiful about this moment. I think there is something that we just don't talk enough. Beautiful, not just because we're graduating or because we made it through late nights, long readings, and everything in between. But because we're standing in the edge of something unknown. And while uncertainty is something that we are taught to fear, I think there is also beauty in it. Uncertainty meets change. It meets movement. It means that our lives are still unfolding and will unfold in ways that we cannot fully predict. And maybe that's what makes this moment so meaningful. Because if there is one thing our Drew experience taught us, it is that growth does not come from having everything figured out. It comes from stepping into the unknown anyway, courageously. If there is one thing this experience has truly shown us, is the importance of people. Not just the people that we have sat next to in class, but the ones who have challenged us, supported us, and helped us shape who we are becoming. The friendships we have built, the community we have created, and the conversations that changed our perspectives. Those are the ones that will stay with us long after we leave the forest. Because at the end of the day, we have come to understand that our lives are not fully defined only by what we achieve, but the relationship we build and the way that we show up for others. And somewhere along that way, many of us have begun to understand something deeper, not just about who we are, but what we care about. For me, that has been developing a growing awareness of realities that exist beyond of my immediate surroundings, and a sense of responsibility to be part of something that creates change. I believe that being a good human being is not just about intention, but about empathy in action, about choosing to care, about paying attention, and about showing up for others in whatever ways we can. My classes have not only taught me content, but they have also prepared me to want to help the world. When I arrived to Drew, coming from Colombia, I never imagined how my path as an international relations and Spanish major would shape my way I see things. Through my classes, I have learned not only to understand complex topics, but also to recognize that empathy and knowledge are not mutually exclusive. Even in classes where we discuss about war, conflict, and human rights, I came to realize that understanding these realities also requires compassion, an ability to see the human stories behind them. But this is not just my realization. In different ways, each of us is gonna be shaped by experiences that have asked us to think critically. Sorry, I'm pretty nervous, guys. um, I came to realize that understanding these realities needs compassion and an ability to see the human stories behind them. But this is not just my realization. In different ways, each of us has been shaped by experiences that have asked us to think beyond ourselves, to question, to empathize, to consider the kind of impact we want to have. And that question, what kind of impact do I want to have, does not come with a single answer. It will take different forms in each of our lives, through service, through creativity, through leadership, through quiet acts of kindness we may never even see recognized. In whatever direction we are led, we are stepping into a world that is complex, changing, and in needs of people that actually cares beyond themselves. And maybe that's what makes this moment so important, because we are not just graduating with degrees, we are living with perspectives, with awareness, and with ability to engage in a world that often is so hard to comprehend. Drew had challenged us to think critically, to engage across differences, and to see ourselves as part of something larger than our individual paths. And because of that, we are uniquely positioned. Not because we have all of the answers, but because we have learned how to ask better questions, how to listen, and how to care. Not because we're fully prepared, but because we have learned to care in a world that often encourages us not to. So as we move forward, maybe the goal is not to have everything figured out. We have no idea what life will be in a few years, so maybe the goal is just to stay open, to stay curious, and to stay grounded to the values that brought us to Drew in the first place. To find our place in the world, not just in terms of what we do, but also in terms of who we choose to be. Because the truth is, the future is not something that simply will happen to us. It is something that we will help shape through choices we make, the people that we stand with, and the ways that we decide to show up for others. And if there is one thing I hope we carry with us after today, is this. that even in uncertain times, even in change, even when the path ahead is muddled and scary, and it will be, we do not lose the sense of responsibility to one another. Because at the end of the day, the world don't need just successful people. It needs good people. It needs integrity, it needs compassion, it needs hope, and it needs all of us. So let's get to work, class of 2026. Felicitaciones and congratulations. And as my dad said to me when I take the plane to come to Drew, éxitos totales.
As the choir comes forward to sing the anthem, you will be invited to sing it with us as we get going. Yes, sopranos can be on this side. Sopranos, then altos, then tenors, then basses.
your sadness and in your grief. All the pain, it seems there's no relief. We will hold you until the storm subsides. Draw the circle, draw the circle wide. Yes, draw the circle wide. Draw
Thank you so much for that wonderful and inspiring music. While we wait for the choir to take their seats, I now have the distinct pleasure of announcing 2 Scholar Teachers of the Year. To start with our Theological School Scholar and Teacher of the Year. And for those of you who don't know, we always do this in a gradual surprise release. And the 2 faculty getting the awards do not know that they have been given this award. So one student said, this professor was, quote, instrumental in shaping my journey at Drew. This professor, they said, created space for critical reflection, grounded action, and faithful imagination, while also affirming and refining my voice as a leader. A student called this professor an amazing and caring human being, and added, under this professor's guidance, I have grown in clarity, courage, and conviction, learning to engage the world with both theological depth and practical responsibility. This professor is one a student noted helps her students become not only ecologically conscious, engaged in environmental justice work, and community involvement across faiths and traditions, but better human beings who care for creation in the process. One student noted that this professor's teaching and mentorship helped ignite in me a deep and enduring commitment to ecological justice, not simply as an academic interest, but as a sacred calling, and has ignited my spitfire for environmental advocacy. It is my sincere pleasure to announce this year's recipient of the Theological School Scholar Teacher of the Year, the John Fletcher Hurst Professor of Ecology, Religion, and Society, Laurel Kearns. This is always the fun part for me. It is now my pleasure to announce the 2026 Distinguished Teaching Award in the College of Arts and Sciences. In one nomination submission, a student wrote, "Today, many individuals can be professors in the sense that they can teach, but very few truly love teaching and genuinely grow alongside their students. This is one of those exceptional individuals." This professor's classroom, a student noted, is not about repeating ideas, but about challenging them, adding that the professor pushes you to think deeper, to question what you read, and to connect theory to the realities people actually live. Students noted this professor's deep investment in his students, that he does not just teach, he pays attention, he sees your potential, he pushes you to reach it, and he refuses to let you stay comfortable. A student said, "This professor encourages us not only to understand the world critically, but also to care about it, to stay grounded in humanity, to hold ourselves accountable in our actions, and to remain committed even when the issues or complexities we study feel heavy or overwhelming," adding that the impact goes beyond the classroom and becomes part of who we are. A student credited this professor with helping them develop a stronger voice, a sharper way of thinking, and the confidence to engage with complex issues such as race, justice, the legal system, immigration, and inequality in meaningful ways. Please join me in congratulating this year's recipient of the Arts and Sciences Distinguished Teaching Award, Associate Professor and Chair of Political Science and International Relations, Sanjay Mishra. There's a reason why they were in a picture together. I think many of you know. They're married. I think I'm turning things over to Dina Ponte.
Good afternoon. I am Edwin Aponte, Dean of Drew Theological School. I am pleased to begin the conferral of degrees and the awarding of diplomas. Graduates, please remain seated until you are invited to rise and come to the platform. Once you have received your diploma, return to your seats. Now, we expect excited celebration for each of our graduates, but we do ask that guests please celebrate respectfully to ensure that each graduate can hear their name being called and can be seen crossing the stage by their family and friends. I am now honored to present the candidates of the Drew University class of 2026 from the Theological School. The faculty and I recommend them to you wholeheartedly. On behalf of the Theological School, will the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Ministry, Master of Sacred Theology, Master of Divinity, Master of Arts in Religion, and Master of Arts in Theology and Ministry, please rise. President Link, I ask that you grant these candidates their degrees with all the rights, the privileges, and responsibilities thereto attached and to which they are rightfully entitled.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I am thrilled to confer upon you the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Ministry, Master of Arts in Religion, Master of Arts in Theology and Ministry, Master of Sacred Theology, and Master of Divinity for the class of 2026.
Kenya Vanessa Mendoza. Young A. Kim. Shin Young Kim. Elizabeth Quick. Heather Williams. Carla Joanne Gittins. Nabu Gogo. Donna Michelle Petrie Murray. Jeffrey Bryan. Marshall Keith Shelley. Janet Olivia Antico. Monette. Michelle Leslie Monette Maltese. Claire Marie Ettinson. Crystal E. James. Natisha Georgia Matthews, Esquire. Devon Michelle Reynolds. Julia Haspel. Willie James Sullivan III. Jong Jin Lee. Hyun Jun Kim. Ji Young Kim.
Maria Carolina Aldelete. Lawrence Christopher Lewis. Shul Yang Pin. Franco Asa Aguti. Richard Hawk Ricketts. Abigail Eve Harper. Amber Lynn Gregory. Deborah Meepley Russell. Abigail Hartley. Saya Paul Kamara. Stephen Patterson Sr. Adrian Caramilla Mendoza. Rutindo Felicitas Mahachi. Chai Wei Shu. Lawrence Darnell Alston. Yolanda Williams. Bethany E. McLean Davey. Esther Somp. Jovite Huntingmana. Pierre Tangomo Omedejo. Magdalene Mardea Garcia. Michael Binya. Josh Phillips. Allison Johnson. Sharon L. Hoff. Dobio Amos. Albarca Abo Wakili. Francis Osuji. Walter Gregorio. Stephen Quado Adade. Benjamin Musasizi. Solomon Corrier. Susan M. Mercer. Dorothea Jackson. William Wesley White. Janice Marie Beauchamp. Andrea M.A. Osborne. Cassidy V. Beckett. Yasha Jeke. Marcel Salumu Okito. Michelle Lamberty Benitez. Do Hee Woo. Ha Young Kim. Eliezer Franke. Karen E. Bentley. Malcolm Jamal Sidnor Sr. Peter J. Ahn. Shanhahan Han. Esther In. Ji Ha Lee. Nate Rourke. Tammuz Hampton Stetzel. Maggie Wolford. Bonnie Lynn Santagata Chapapeta. Carrie Lee Patricia Farnham. Young Rockjoy.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Hinrichs, and it is my privilege to serve as the Dean of Arts and Sciences at Drew University, including the Caspersen School of Graduate Studies and the College of Liberal Arts. President Link, I am honored to first present the candidates for the Drew University class of 2026 from the Caspersen School of Graduate Studies. Will these students please rise? President Link, I ask that you grant them these degrees with the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto attached and to which they are rightfully entitled.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I am thrilled to confer upon you the degrees Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Letters, Doctor of Medical and Health Humanities, Master of Arts, Master of Letters, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, and Master of Science for the class of 2026.
Graduates, please proceed to the porch as directed by the marshals.
Alexandra Jordan Thielen Blackowski. Maria Patricia Piscane. Rebecca R. Meir. Lance Leon Lee. Kristen M. Coughlin. Karen Renee Ankiel. Jennifer Ward Torriello. Kenol Lamore. Coretta Poet Waring Hall. Mary Beth Castles. Catherine Doris Morley. Denise Ellen Gawley. Sophia M. Abramiella. Lidi Kadibwa Goy. Mary Claire Smith. Niasha Zimbeuva. Elliot Charles Franklin. Catherine Carmichael. Shelby Carol Wedeen. Nicole Sidor. Elizabeth Gabriella Blank. Angelina Marie Silva. Julia Dominica Romano. Courtney Elizabeth Cushman. Elena C. Hodge. Margaret Louise Speckhart. Darius Tremaine Sanders, Jr. Jillian Sampson. Amy Nicole Schuster. Joshua Joseph Klein, Jr. Jack T. Garside. Gustavo Santos. Michelle Tirta. Nirka Honores. Tyreek Vincente Anse. Oh. Vadalois Ama Akufuche. Sheng Wen Lu. Serafina Noel June. Joost Ian Vanderhorst. Benjamin John Casoilo. Hong Chen Chien. Hin Boi. Toi Wing. Wei Chen Chien. Adana Halile. Ariana Mendez. Pan Moezba Patel.
I am now pleased to begin the conferral of degrees and the awarding of diplomas to the undergraduate class of 2026 in the College of Liberal Arts. I want to start by acknowledging a few special groups. Would our student athlete candidates please rise and remain standing? Success in the classroom as well as on the field, court, or course requires dedication, perseverance, and just a little bit of time management. And you represent our school well, and your teammates and your coaches. Thank you. You may be seated. Would our first generation students please rise and remain standing? First generation students are defined as being their first in their families to attend college or university and complete a 4-year bachelor's degree. Your accomplishments have fulfilled the dream and will pave the way for future generations. Thank you. Would our Baldwin Honors candidates please rise and remain standing? This demanding 4-year program admits academically strong students emphasizing scholarship, leadership, and global citizenship. Students must maintain a 3.5 GPA and complete a full-year senior thesis. Thank you. Would our Action Scholars please rise? Drew University actively supports students who show extraordinary commitment to community service by offering civic engagement scholarships to the Drew Action Scholars. They complete more than 100 hours of service annually and participate in special classes and workshops. Thank you. Would all of our graduating seniors who have been elected membership into Phi Beta Kappa please rise? Phi Beta Kappa is our nation's oldest academic honors society. Students inducted for membership must have GPAs in the top 10% of their class, must take a sufficient breadth of courses, study a foreign language through the intermediate level, and have demonstrated an appropriate level of mathematics. Congratulations and thank you. And now, will all of the candidates for Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise? President Link, I have the high honor of presenting to you candidates for the degree Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. After completion of their rigorous course of study, the faculty of the College of Liberal Arts recommends them for these degrees. I ask that you grant them these degrees with the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto attached and to which they are rightfully entitled.
Upon recommendation of the faculty and by authority of the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I am thrilled, always a little bit sad to see you go, but thrilled to confer upon you the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. I invite each of you to the platform to receive your diploma. Please stay seated until your row is directed by our marshals to rise and proceed to the platform.
Juanita Navas Espinal. Nikiwe McDonald. Liam Andre Bailey. Maximilian Gaevsky. Gabrielle Patrick Leon. Logan Patrick Cleva. Emily Elizabeth Rode. Roxine Helen Riles. Sophia Lynn Schimpf. Olivia Hope Magliacano. Caitlin Elizabeth Streets. Allie J. Porbansky. Natalie Grace Lorenzo. Haley Nicole Meyerhofer. Amanda Rose Novak. Aurora Lynn Marino. Joselina Amelia DeTroya. Kai Rose Zamfino. Jonathan Sorrell. Yuanji Lee. Maximilian Peter Giuliano. Ian Alexander Davis. Matthew Noah Firestone. Tyler Jordan Ware. Alexander Paul Dunton. Lincoln Pugh. Zeline Xiang. Brian Jose Malave Prieto. Dulce Alejandra Gonzalez Chavez. Zachary Christian Senecash. Edward James Matto. Eva Rose Esqueda. Sophia Grace DiNocenzo. Ira Marie Poticano. Jenna Hagan. Isabella Anderson. Isabella Leah Hatsoglu. Chase R. Eunice. William Francis Wesley Morton. Evelyn Rose Feely. Casey Catherine Enright. Kendall J. Kendrick. Racine Khalil Fisher. Kyle James Johnson. Christopher Anthony Tobia. Brandon William Cobran. Nathan Cole Sika. Luke Joseph Chambasco. Max David Conklin. Ryan Andrew Ritchie. Patrick J. Mucha. Vincent Thomas Tartaglia. William Jeffrey Navarro Sanchez. Zachary Ulysses Hirschberger. Ella May Zafaris. Casey Antonia Reed. Emily Francis Hahn. Brandon M. Jacara. Pim Willem Van Hilton. Christopher Ehor Chisowich. Jared Evan Brown. Ryan Nicholas Fisher. Nicholas Thomas Klein. Jonathan Danny Gutierrez. Aiden Alexander Siegel. Gabriel DiPiero. James Moriarty Cahill. Madeline Ray Morgan. Kayla Marie Kunkin. Amy Elizabeth Barsa. Francesca Noel Veltri. Chandler Elizabeth Straub. Maria Piplos. Ryan Anish Rodriguez. David Kafini Kaze.
Joseph John Antonacci. Dean Matthew Castellana. James Thomas Dempsey. Max Eugene Hendricks. Colin Anthony Diodato. Kieran Patrick Bhattacharya. Devin Sutaria. Nadia M. Porchetta. Jasuna Andes. Kiana Undella Masi. Juliana Vivino. Emily Athena Shirk. Aubrey Ruth Welch. Caitlin Elizabeth Mattison. Molly Kathleen Kuhn. Sophie Rose Carney. Abby Morgan Michael. Kieran Quinn Dugan. Samantha Mercadante. Joseph Michael Riccardi Jr. Joseph Thomas Mastro Giovanni. Kenny Alexander Rodriguez Fuentes. Gigi Solano. Chase Margaret Mercer. Annalise Marie Wade. Cole Alexander Kirker. Brian R. Cohen. Emily Elaine Monaco. Emma Faith Galaro. Elizabeth Carmen Dobrich. Harrison B. Anderson. Marissa Ann Wahardo. Tia Bonnie Descubis. Anaya Queen Stanford. Matasia Alinda Christopher. Bria Charnay Wilcox. Anaya Perry. Joshua Adam Burke. Theodore S. Kruger. Joseph John Larmore. Jacob Logan Cornelius. Salvador Ralph Desiderio. Jake Hennessy Noonan. Fahed Waleed Shibli. Nabil Farouk Majumbar. John Harris Lewis. Tyler Joseph Olachowski. Noah Zimmerman Gardos. Henry Silas Degramont. John Madison McLaughlin. Jonah Robert Fine. Lindsay Erin Orr. Jax Jacqueline Joanne Dalbon. Julianne Stiano Magistrato. Amy Michelle Campos. Natalia Rockviashvili. Angelina Elizabeth Grisafi. Kayla Brianne Cleary. Jin Rose Mitchell. Andy Bentley. Felicity Rose Madeline Schmidt. Jessica Lauren Hyman. Jennifer Michelle Winyansaka. Jennifer Gabriela Velasquez Santos. Emily Ardila Aguilar. Daniel Gerald Donnelly. Demetrios Stefanos Karambellas. Linnell Lemus Demar. Jasmine Stafford. Tara Elizabeth Lenek. Anzani Nokuleko Metinjani. Alpha Omega Cisse Jr. Mohammed Moaz Almagir. Sofia Susana Asiego. Belanema Menjanari. Jada Monet Wortham. Maxine Larson. Christia O. Mensa. Manuela Morales. Sarah Paisley Silverberg. Grace Lily Remondelli. Azra Ozan. Lindsay Aurora Orlana Pineda. Joel Fuentes. Sumaya Kardam. Katarina Sorochinova. Natalie Zoa Bailey. Rodia D. Calambaras. Ava Michelle Woolard. Angeli Edina Jane Baptiste. Everardo Alexander Perez Maraquim. Julisha Aldalisa Moses. Mariam Wathora. Tanyel Taluska. Hilaria Jakrama Danke. Nicholas Kim Heino Weidel. Brendan J. Allen Burkett. Zaid Nasser Shamut. Carolyn Jane Danner. Nicholas Keith Schaefer. Richard James Kilichowski. Sarah Lindsay Weber. Caitlin Emily Zale. Danielle Andrea Lugebauer. Whole thing. Gabriel Matthew Spivak.
Jordan Jane Ambrose. Justin Claire Turner. Sarah Jane Koblitz. Dana Sands Theron. Dominica Federica. Olivia Hope Oberlin. Gabriela Lopez. Matthew Mark German. Michael Chatalios. Maria del Carmen Marquez. Sabrina Jolie Fallas. Brina Faith Hazel. Edja Onacha. Christiana Perez. Almaz Sidikoff, excuse me. Matthew David Deem. Drew Philip Oliveira. Omar Ahmed. Dallas Isaiah Collins. Andrew James Coloto. Pedro Enrique de Marisa Hasha. Daniel Edward Orr. Jason Rudolph Barbosa. Baron Van Zyl Ostam. Daniel J. Espinal. Simon Hagos Estefanos. F.A. Il Mas. Bonnie Lee. Kyle Anthony Nolan. Todd Zimzak. James Frazier Sullivan. Kieran Plancer Murphy. Nina Olivia Grace. Maria Angelina Gagliano. Emma Silva Perez. Melissa A. Mascara. Gianna Rose Pica. Madison Grace Byer. Jesse Faro. Shivendra Andrew Pereira. Natalie Maria Zamora. McKenna Rose Gottschalk. Abigail Marion Walker. Kenna Marie Welsh. Samantha DeFalco. Alexa Satijan. Kiara Maria Abreu. Genesis Puga Rodriguez. Abigail Maria Pereira. Luisa Marina Revolta Jemha. Christian Angelica Roberts Peterson. Rose A. Sharayo. Gia Mora. Vanessa Cortez. Emily Margaret Cookson. Mary Beth Shirley Heater. Nora Elizabeth Wilson. Cecilia Marie Lomano. Tyler Dean Schmid. Annabelle Lynn Smith. Stephanie Yulana Umami. Maureen Nicole Figueredo. Kevin Matthew Cronin. Anthony John Tancredi. Devin Matthew Musel. David Stephen Musel. Tia Lauren Prabhakar. Christina Fernand Dillon. Layla Ranganathan. D. Cohen. Mary Olson. Marilyn Diaz. Atriana Trejo Gonzalez, Nicole Gonzalez. No problem. Diana Guevara. Santina Priano. Michaela Fajardo. Kate Elizabeth Rice. Lauren Haley Rosalo. Emily Ann Camlet. Dylan Joseph Crane. Bingji Zhu. Zuoya Han. Sophia Buckler Geiger. Stephanie Hu An Hang. Venetia Kumar Mirachandi. Enola Katiana Siravishik Hashinjak. Natalie Jean Parkhill. Cadence Aaliyah Sapitino. Ariana Christine Zolowski. Heather Ann Zawatsky. Kutartu Patel. Aiden Sebastian Lafuente. Sophia Rose Arganzano. Lucia Therese Del Grande. David Huang. Samira Marjan Nazari. Grace Christine Dorenzio. Santiago Zapata Gomez. Persephone Sarah Goldberg. Danielle Georgie Cancelo. Nia Nunez. Vivian Susan Burke. Alexa Lisa Siri. Bella Marie Piazza. Emily Marie Agostinelli. Sandra Faragala. Adinella Chochka. Canute Horkel. Maricela D. Franco Madewell. Lucas Andrew Chidoba. Michael Kiev. Abigail Heather Goldsman. Hannah Lincoln Spencer. Priscilla Stefania Quinqueros Condo. Santo Rocco Galesio. Jasmine Marie Cabral. Jeremy Lee Gould. Nora Ann Kosh. Dejanay Sabadi Hill. Catherine Alandria Mejas Rejas. Diana Samchuk. Oluwafasayo Testimony Olarahi. Elizabeth Rodriguez. Bria Janae Catherine Jones. Melissa Nicole Liebergal. Amy Teles Duarte Vejas Benedito. Patricia Ribeiro Knuff. Peyton Kaylin Goings. Leslie Kunin Peffanel. Laura Nurmi. Kayla Elizabeth Rose. Finn Verhen Jackson. Genevieve Catherine Geary. Lexi Surrey Duran. Mary Catherine Murphy. Yuri Yadosa.
Okay, I lied when I said that presenting to the faculty was my favorite part. It's always my favorite part to greet you all up here. So, congratulations to all of our graduates. To all of our graduates in the Drew Theological School, Caspersen School of Graduate Studies, and College of Liberal Arts, as well as hearty congratulations to the families and friends who have joined us here today. With the undergraduates, please move your tassel from the right to the left to signify the completion of your degree. I want to thank everyone here for joining us today at this beautiful and special commencement ceremony. Guests, please remain at your seats until all graduates have recessed. Graduates will be directed off of Meade Lawn by the marshals and will meet their guests and faculty near the Shakespeare Theater patio over there. I now invite you to stand as you are able for the benediction.
Graduates, may the wisdom and experience you have gained here continue to deepen your understanding, inspire your creativity, enlarge your compassion, and strengthen your courage. As you go forth from this place, President Link mentioned the motto of the university, which is on the main gate on the other side of Meade Hall. It's inscribed on the seal of the university. It's written on your diplomas and carved above the entrance to Seminary Hall in Greek. Dorian labete, Dorian dote. Freely you have received, freely give. And so may all of us freely give our gifts in service to the world. Freely give our minds to the pursuit of truth. Freely give our hearts to the work of justice and peace. Freely give our lives to the flourishing of all peoples, all creatures, and the earth itself. May we all be guided by wisdom, sustained by hope, and grounded in love. And may the one known by many names, the source of life, truth, and grace, bless and keep all of us in the days ahead. Go forth in peace, with gratitude for all you have received, and with courage to give generously in return. Amen.
is not open.